So I finally watched the movie Interstellar by Christopher Nolan, and I was blown away by the incredible work behind the movie. I was even more impressed by Hans Zimmer's soundtrack, a truly remarkable masterpiece that really made the movie look and sound even better. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the movie, go listen to the soundtrack before you keep going with this video. Now, I came up with my version of this soundtrack, which is based on 4 simple chords and created probably like 15 variations. I took a canon in the approach where you repeat the same chord progression, but every time with something new. So I tried to create a beautiful journey with a beginning, a climax, and an ending. You can listen to the full arrangement. I'll leave the link in the description down below. Now I'm going to play this on my low G ukulele. This is a Maikai super tenor ukulele. You will find a tab for the tenor and baritone tuning on my Patreon page and on ourpassionformusic.com. We have a lot to cover, so let's get started. Part 1, the opening with root and third. In this section, we highlight the 4 chords with the most basic chord shapes using the root and the third of each chord. It's a 3/4 time signature, so each chord lasts for 3 counts. We are playing a B flat major chord, a C major chord, a D minor chord, and a C major chord again. Part number 2, the theme. Let's add a pedal note to the chords. The A string will be played after each chord, always on the second count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Part 3, 2-note melody. It's the same as part 2, but now we add a simple melody of just 2 notes on the last quarter note of each measure. We are in the key of a D minor, and so we're going to be using the D minor scale or the F major scale to play the melody. So we keep the same chords, and then add a 2-note melody at the end of each chord. Part number 4, more arpeggios. So here we add more rhythm and depth to the chords by playing more notes with the finger picking technique. Of course, we also make the melody longer, since now it starts on the second beat of the measure. Part number 5, embellishing the melody. Same as part 4, but with more notes. I like to use beautiful thirds to make this melody shine. So in this case, the thirds are going to be played after the arpeggio. And then you have the thirds. This is the B flat major, C major, they're always played on the second and third string. D minor, and C major again. Part number 6, the Spanish arpeggio. Let's bring more movement by playing an 8th note value arpeggio. We're going to alternate a melody played with the thumb with the A open string. It's going to be awesome. Let me play the example. So in this case, we are playing the melody with the thumb for the B flat major, C major, D minor, and C major again. Now for each note, let's play the A open string with the index finger. You can repeat this twice and then finish with the chords. Now, part number 7, the Cascading Arpeggio. We're getting to the second part of the journey with this finger-picking arpeggio played in triplets. We are playing 9 notes per measure, so you really want to take it slow here. Now the good news is we only have 4 strings on the ukulele. You can also listen to this on a classical guitar. I played the same arrangement on a classical guitar and it's way more challenging. But here we only have 4 strings. So the arpeggio goes like this. The thumb on the 4th string, index on the 3rd string, middle on the 2nd string, and the ring finger on the 1st string. We are playing 9 notes per measure. You have the thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index, ring, middle, and index. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm also changing the chords, playing the regular open chords. I'm playing a B flat major 7th chord, a C major, a D minor, and a beautiful C6 chord. Now you can repeat this thing twice, and then on the last chord, I like to play a phrase. Part number 4, Cascading Melody. In this part, we're going to add a cascading melody to the chords. The idea is to create a question and answer between the chords played with the arpeggio and the melody played with the descending scale. We always alternate a chord with the arpeggio with a melody. Let me play the example. Now, there's a lot going on here, but once you learn the patterns, you should be fine. So there's always this question and answer thing, this call and response. You start with the arpeggio, and then you play the bass of the chord and the descending melody. Now, as you can see from the tab, I'm also using a technique called pull off on the first note. And I like to alternate between index and middle, or middle and index. It's up to you, as long as you alternate. Now, C major, arpeggio, scale. D minor. I like to play this D minor odd 9 chord. And here the bass we played on the 3rd string, fret number 5. Now this is quite challenging since we're playing this melody in those tiny frets. We finish with the C major. And then we can repeat the same thing again. Now, part number 9 is the A string riff. We've finally reached the climax with the most technical part. Here we want the same phrase to build up in volume and pitch. So for each chord, the melody will move up the fretboard. I'm also using a technique called pull off. Let me break it down for you. Now we can break down the melody on the A string in 2 different parts. The first part will have one note, and follow the tab below. One note, E pull off, and one note. Now I like to always alternate between my index and middle, or middle and index. So try not to pluck always with the same finger. So one note, a pull off, and one note. And then the second part of the melody will be slightly different, with a one note, pull off, one note, pull off, one note, and a pull off. So when I put it together, now let's add the bass note to each melody. You can repeat this one twice. Now from part 10, we are going to go back to things that we have already played. We are slowly going back home. And so once we reach the climax, we are slowly descending this mountain. So we go back to the Cascading Arpeggio. Then we combine the Cascading Arpeggio with a 2-note melody. Then we go back to the main theme. And finally, back to the root and third. I will finish with a D minor chord. I know there is a lot going on, so take it step by step. Enjoy this lesson. If you need a tab, check my Patreon page or go to ourpassionformusic.com, where you can learn how to play the ukulele really, really well. I'm gonna leave you to practice this. Enjoy this lesson, and I'll see you next time.